your cinema cam do that? Of course it can't.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So I was watching a Jay Hoyman video the other day, solid chap. And he was comparing Canon C50 to the R5II, and I was like, okay, let's see. Yeah, your C50 is kind of clinical. It's not going to be better than my camera. And I was like, oh God, it's way better. Oh, it's way better. Damn you, Jared. Jay Hoyman, I'll hoist your mom. So it got me thinking, you're a YouTuber, you're in a living room, you need a cinema cam. What's the best cinema cam in today's world? Because we're used to the mirrorless look, and there's a lot of advantages to a tiny little cheap mirrorless camera. It has everything like stabilization, better autofocus, flippy screen, all this beautiful stuff. But what if you want a better look? Because they still have a clinical digital look to them, and the cinema cams have just it's a softer look, but it's also, the colors are just, Jay described it as a more neutral white balance type of thing. Like the R5II leans magenta, and then the C50 was more neutral, not green like Sony, the other end of Goblin Town, but like just pleasing, normal, good. So that got us thinking, what are the best compromises? Best cinema cams on a budget? Let us discuss it. In my opinion, the cheapest option, the most versatile, we're on it. Fuji X-H2S is basically a cinema cam. Compared to the other mirrorless, there's a filmic touch to it. It's an X-trans sensor. The colors are arrayed differently. It's not a Sony RGB type of thing, it's RGGB. This little Fuji Wonder Beast has more dynamic range than any of my full frame cameras. When I was comparing it to the A7S III, I thought it had more dynamic range. I was like, that's not true. It's just exposing different. I think it literally did. And it destroys my R5II and Nikon Z6 III. It's not even in the ballpark, and you're a smaller sensor. Imagine if Fuji went full frame. Yeah, imagine if they went medium format, but a video sensor instead of your photo ones. When's it gonna happen? Never. But the fact that it has cinema cam quality image and dynamic range, but the best autofocus you ever seen in your life, just so smooth. You notice the balls back there. It's just one movement. It's not like, doo, doo. Oh God. It's like perfection. So like we're adapted, speed boosted, EF 50mm 1.2, but come on. And then you can hand hold things. You got IBIS in there. So like all your amazing 3D popping prime lenses are stabilized. But I guarantee you, put this image up next to a Sony FX6, you'd be like, I like the Fuji better. How much did yours cost? Wow. So like, you can't go wrong. And I don't think the other sensors are as magical. The like Fuji XS20, that's not cinema cam territory. I remember comparing the X-T4 to the X-H2S when I first got this, and I was like, the colors are different. It's more neutral, if anything. Oh my God. It's different. It's a cinema cam color, and they added F-Log2, and then all of a sudden the dynamic range on that thing, it was like, wow. So like X-H2S is a cinema cam. Now obviously there's many options like, oh, Sony Burano, like you're ridiculously expensive. I'm talking about normal people money. The next best option would be a used Canon C70. You can't beat that image. DGO sensor, even more dynamic range than this Fuji, but barely noticeably. It's like in the ballpark, like right there, side by side are these two cameras, and they're almost the same. Some even prefer the Fuji still, but there's something special about that Canon sensor. It's a low megapixel DGO sensor. It's just 16:9, if not 17. DCI 4K is the new open gate. Now, I'll be honest with you, I had the R5II and the C70 at one point, and I'm like doing all these side by sides, and I'm like, you know, the C70 is better. It's definitely a noticeably more cinematic look. It's just something about it, yes, cinema cam all the way, but the autofocus, while reliable for in here type of thing, as soon as you get about 7 feet away, your life is over. It just loses you completely. You can't rely on it. Oh, I'm a cinemacan. No one would ever use autofocus. Watch this skill. Hope your finger cracks and your wrist twists. And the C70 can be had for pretty cheap. I've seen it for 3,500 Canadian with like a couple batteries and like everything you would need. And it's fully, you're not hand holding anything. There's no IBIS, but if you're on a tripod filming yourself in here or out there, I don't know, man, that autofocus is gonna F you, but built-in NDs, that can be fun. But I debate it every day, getting a C70 again. It was just so beautiful, but the R5II is so much more versatile. I was like, I don't want 15 different cameras. If I could only choose one, the R5II can vlog, it can do wildlife. Like, okay, sorry C70, you were amazing, but I miss you. Come back, don't listen to him. Why did I get rid of it? The next most cinema-like option would be the Nikon ZR. My Z6 III has a filmic touch to it. It's something special, but it's not quite cinema cam level. It's in between like a C70 cinema cam and a absolute R5 digital hellhole. But with the Red Raw, you seem to have a more neutral color stance, something a little more soft and pleasing about it. So potential there. And then you have all the versatility, full frame, IBIS, better than Fuji autofocus. Nothing is better than Fuji autofocus, as we've already seen today. Am I within it? Oh God. Oh wow, what was that? That's bad news. Oh, don't show this to Edward. Now when it comes to Sony, Sony has two types of cinema cams, real ones and fake ones. All your FX3, FX2, FX30, all that nonsense, those aren't real. Those don't give you a cinema look. You're getting Sony clinical digital, same as A7S III, or worse, FX2, looking at you. So it's like, okay, nice cinema body, why is there no shutter speed thing, angle, I know stuff. You're not real. And if you want to go up to the FX6, it's still clinical. I've heard many people, like, they love that camera. It's so reliable, electronic variable NDs. It's like, game changer, bro. But you still have a Sony look, and you're always like, yeah, I shoot my Blackmagic still. Like, I do this for corporate work. Maybe if you got one of the older, like, FS5, you might have a slightly cinematic look to it. I doubt it, but I don't know, you'd have the best autofocus of any cinema cam, but you don't really count, and stop pretending. Now when it comes to Blackmagic, I feel like they're so slow to give me what I want, and that's just a damn flippy screen. You have the best screen in the business and it does not come to see me. I need to film myself and see it so I can judge the perfect autofocus. Wow. And be proud of my work as I accomplish it. So like, Blackmagic is actually working on phase detect and it's already better than Fuji. So like, in the future, like, you might actually have that. They have a cinema touch. Nothing like the Blackmagic OG of the past. That's the best one, but like, it gets okay. It's still better than most. So like, Blackmagic, you could do full frame, EF mount. You're using all these with phase detect, oh my God. It's a bit confusing which cameras actually have phase detect though. I just saw one that was like 6K. They have all these weird names and I forget which is which. The 6K Pro is the full frame and that might get it, but not yet. And I don't know, but Blackmagic, cool. But you need like mirror hacks and all kinds of shit and it's annoying. Whereas like, what we've mentioned so far is all flippy screening, autofocusing, usable, cinema-like images. Those three options, you could do worse. Much worse. I personally don't find Panasonic to have a cinematic image, no matter how much you lie to yourself about it and tell me that, oh, airy log, bro. A couple of jabrones I was talking to the other day about it, and like, I just don't like the look, and they're like, bro, look at this video. You wouldn't believe it has airy colors. And they post a link to some video that's showing like a $500 film plugin from Airy that you have to buy, plus the firmware update that's a paid firmware update to get Airy Log. And I'm I'm like, what the hell is that? And then your computer's slow and renders longer because it's basically dehancer on crack. Like, how is that Panasonic straight out of camera? Like, it has nothing to do with Panasonic. You're just buying Airy colors. I could buy it right now at a laundromat. I was posting this video of Polly Porter who like compared the Nikon ZR to the Panasonic S1 II that everybody's like crying about, saying it's the best thing ever, and it's just glowing red nastiness, even though his footage looks like he didn't even grade the log at all. I don't know what that look is, but thanks for that comparison. And he noticed that like Panasonic's pure magenta red hell, whereas like Nikon looked normal. And that's what I noticed too, and it's a pain in the bitch, and Penny Boy, you suck. Did you notice that a Panasonic shooter just thought his IBIS was so good that he was just running and he ran off a cliff? That happens a lot more than you would think. So Panasonic, like, you could get an S1H. I think that might have had a more cinema look to it. It's not bad, but I remember back in the day comparing my G9 II to the Blackmagic OG, and my jaw just would drop at how much better the Blackmagic looked. I was like, why does that look so much better? Like, the sensor's even smaller, there's 2 megapixels, it's HD only. Why do you look so bad, Panasonic? Something's wrong with you, clearly. Now there's lots of other fringe options with your Sigma FP and your L mount and your nastiness, and oh, it's so small with no flipping, tilting, anything weird proprietary SSD stuff. It's like, yeah, there's a whole world of weirdos. I'm just talking, if you want a more cinematic look than your typical mirrorless, those are the options. I think it's still just XH2S or C70 and be done with it. Those are your best options. You can speed boost both to Canon EF glass. I think Fuji might even have more reliable autofocus at a distance. The Nikon ZR might be the best of both of those worlds that I just mentioned. So any of those three, I think that's where you're going. You could, I'm almost tempted to look at a red Komodo with the Nikon Z mount and the Nikon autofocus. You might have something there. You could have it, but you'd have to rig it up with a monitor. It's a bit more pain and a lot more money and no IBIS, heavier. And while I'm 90% certain you could probably just take any ghetto mirrorless and then in post, soften it a little, add some effects, a little bloom, something, neutralize the colors and like, oh, there it is. I can't even tell the difference. And yours was like $35 for a point and shoot. I get it. My life has no purpose. We learned nothing today as usual. What's the best cinema cam? Post it down below. I'll delete your comment. Thank you for the Bitcoin donations. What camera are you buying through my affiliate links? I listed them all down there. Go buy each one. Subscribe for more videos.